much is it costing you to fill up these days? It's been a tiny bit less painful recently, right? If you found gas at a good price or you've got a tip, you can text us at 514-800. And no, you weren't imagining things. Over the weekend, I know it's been a nightmare lately, but it wasn't a dream. Gas prices actually dipped to around the $2 mark, even a little bit below that in some spots. And I bet that gave you a little bit of relief, right? Unfortunately, I did not remember to fill up. I am running low as we speak, and I don't know how long this is going to last. According to experts, not very long. Let's see what Jean-Thomas Bernard has to say. He's a professor of economics at the University of Ottawa. Thank you for your time today, Mr. Bernard.
That's okay.
So tell us what's been happening. First of all, why were prices so high, and why have they gone down?
Well, we know that the price of, on the private side, the commercial side, the price that we pay has two components. One is come from governments, the tax, federal and provincial, and we have also the private part, the market. And in the market parts, there are three components. First, there is the price of oil, and this is determined worldwide. It has been high since early June. It has been a bit, let us say, around $115 per barrel, U.S. dollar per barrel. Last week it dipped a little bit, I think, below 110, which is not, that low, but still was lower than what we had seen over the last month. But there's nothing we can do about it. This is the world price, roughly the same thing all over the world. Now there is the refining part. Montreal has a refinery, Quebec State has a refinery, and there is a big one in New Brunswick. The Irving refinery. This refinery margin is also pretty much determined by world conditions, particularly, say, in the Atlantic. We are part of this area in terms of market, and our refinery basically charge the same wholesale price for this fairly large area. Now, there is a local guy, the distribution, and this is very much a local phenomenon. It's very, we have two refineries in Quebec. Sometimes the price is lower in Quebec, sometimes it is lower in Montreal and in Sherbrooke, and all of this. It varies over the area because people don't travel very far to fill up their car.
That's true.
Usually we do this, on the way to work, on the way to shopping, something like this. So there is no more. People don't have any more. Fidelity to a particular brand. So as soon as there are a few cents of difference along your way, you will go to the cheapest source. So basically, the distribution guy have to charge the same price, otherwise they lose market share.
Right.
Now, what has created the less decrease is that basically there's not been much. There's a bit of a dip in the oil price, and usually this is reflected pretty quickly to the pump. And but there has been the distribution margin were very high. Over the course of a year, they can go from zero, making no money at all, to something like 15 and 20 cents, which is very high. Because usually we think that about 4 or 5 cents is the normal distribution margin. So lately they were very high. I think something of the order of 15, maybe a bit higher than that. And that's why there were some loose there. There was a bit of loose to decrease. So that's what happened. Okay. Now, we know that the summertime is the part of the year where the demand for gasoline is the highest.
Yes.
And usually the price of gasoline is also high, over the summertime. This runs from like Saint Jean Baptiste Day to Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's about, relative to fall or kind of early spring, there is a difference of about 4 or 5 cents there over that period.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not huge. That's surprising to me. Because we imagine, especially like I'm thinking about construction holiday coming up, we imagine that it spikes like the weekend before construction holiday begins or the day before Saint Jean Baptiste. So, but 4 to 5 cents, that's not such a big jump.
Well, right now the price is very high.
Yes.
It's like $2,
Yes.
so 4 or 5 cents is not very high. But last summer the price was something like 1.30. So
God, I can't even remember that. Was it ever that?
Yeah.
If only it still were there. So 4 to 5 cents, and this is the most expensive time. This little dip that we've had lately. Are you expecting that to last a little while, or is it looking like that was it? We should just be trying to fill up and enjoy it while it lasts.
I think you should enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, that's it.
Because the price of oil is very volatile. And right now it has been high. 110, 115. This is very high, but it's not a peak. We had a peak in July 2008, when we reached $147 per barrel.
Okay.
Now, to give you an idea of the volatility of that price, at that time, some people were forecasting, like we see now once in a while, people were forecasting, that by the end of that year, we could reach $200. Now, in December, the price fell to $35. So, I am always glad that they did not have to make a living forecasting the price. I will be most probably begging for food along the way.
I mean, if you had a crystal ball that you could look into, you could potentially make a whole lot of money by taking a little cut here. What do you think about this idea? There's been talks about freezing the gas tax, or even giving people a little bit of a break from the gas taxes. Would that be a good idea? Would that help things?
It is a very bad idea.
Okay.
From the economic standpoint, it is a very bad idea because the price is high now because we have too much demand for what is available. That's what pushed the price up. So lowering the tax will not fix anything along that line. So that's not a good idea. We may feel, let us say, sorry for, average people or poor people, but lowering the tax on gasoline is not the way. The way I think, this has been done now in Ontario, in Alberta, and Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah.
Very bad idea.
Okay.
So what we should do is a bit what Mr. Legault did, but he was not showing enough discrimination here. We should give money to poor people, and then they spend the way they like. There are people who are fairly poor. They don't have car, so they don't use gasoline, but they still pay a very high price for their grocery.
Exactly.
Because transportation costs enter into everything that we purchase. Everything. So I think we should target more poor people and give them money.
I like what you're saying. So the $500 check was not necessarily a bad idea. It just needs to be more targeted. Okay, I like your approach. I'm out of time, unfortunately, but I really appreciate the time that you did give us today, Monsieur Bernard. Thank you.
Okay, have a nice evening.
You
Bye.
too, very much so. Thank you. That is Jean-Thomas Bernard, professor of economics at the University of Ottawa.